predominantly, this is going to be more of a practical class. Everything we've been discussing previously, we now need to see how they look in the practical world. So hence, today, there are some things that we are going to see personally as physical. So tonight, I've just looked at, it's just going to be more of a workshop. And as I told you in the last class that you should try and get Excel, even if you don't have it, just get your pen and paper. But I would have loved you to have a spreadsheet on, even if it's in a Word document, but Excel format would have been quite easier for anyone to be able to use. So today's topic, we'll be talking about test case design. We'll be using Excel. That's the spreadsheet. We'll write our test case from the scratch. We'll see it and we'll take it. The next one is test case. The same test case we have written, we want to now use it on AzureDevOps, which is a tool you are going to use here. So we are going to write it there, and also we can import it into it. The next thing is that how to raise a defect on Azure DevOps board. I'll just show you how to raise a defect. That's how to raise a bug. Then how to do your estimation when it comes to testing, how we actually do our estimation. Then I'll show you an example of a test plan. That's a document, a comprehensive one. I'll show you a live document, a live test plan, and a live automation test strategy. Then we'll have a Q&A session. So I'll just sit back and let's watch it. So this time around, I'm going to move away from this slide. I'm now going to go to the board, to my normal computer, to my machine. We have got my Excel. We have got my Azure DevOps, where I'm going to show you. So this time, we'll forget about the slide. We'll come back to that later. Nothing in the slide. So practically, I would take you first to where we have. So I've opened, this is my own spreadsheet. So if you have your own spreadsheet, open it on your computer. Just open a page like this, clean page, nothing. Open a page like this. So this is a spreadsheet. It's the normal Excel that you see. I've not changed it. I also got it as part of the Microsoft Office tools. So Excel, PowerPoint, Word document, all this. So this is one of it. Now, who is our case study today? The person we are going to use is the same website that you all are familiar with. You're all familiar with it. So it's the same website. So let's go and look at this face. What I'm doing is that we have the application. We have the website. We know the website. That's the reason for this first part that I'm going to show you. So let's go to what we want to do now. So I'll go to, so I've opened Blue Sky. Okay. So this is Blue Sky. So this is what we have when you talk about, this is the Blue Sky Citadel. Everyone is aware of this website. So we know it's a training platform. There are different things that needs to be tested here. So let's look at some of the features here. Think of some of the features. It's a class that we all just, at every phase, I'll be answering questions and we'll be talking. It's a workshop mainly. just for you to have a good understanding of what we are doing. So there are different features there. We've got sign up, we've got login, we've got for enterprise, we've got become a tutor, we've got the home page, we've got the course, we've got different things in display. There's a lot of things playing. You can see the background is actually moving, changing. So it's changed now, what we offer. So all these things. Go further down. You see some of the top code. So this is the website you all know about. If you go down here, you can see all these links, what they do. So let's go up. Let's start for, let's take our first candidate. Let's say, for example, this is the person we want to write test case on, this blue button. So let's look at how this works. Before I write the test case, I want us to see how the journey is. So what's the journey? I've gone to this link that is here. You all have it. You can open your own too on your. So I click on sign up. Sign up screen is displayed. So this is sign up is displayed. So if I'm a first user, I want to register. So that's sign up. Registration can be called different names. Login can be called different names. Login can be sign in. Registration can be create an account. So we want to sign up. So sign up. Okay, let me use my own name. I'll put Yemi AY. I'll use an email. I use this password. I use another password. If you click here, you can't, it won't let you go because I've not done two things. I've not done the terms, the privacy policy. If I was registering as a tutor, as an instructor, I could have clicked it. That's another feature that we can. So now, if I click register, it will go. This is actually a real account for me. So when I click register, boom. So when I click register, there's something else that it should go. Let me use, I want us to see the full one, okay? So let me click register. It says password must include at least one capital letter. So that takes me back. I'm showing you, see all the edge cases I'm looking at. So click register. Sorry, the email address already exists because I know I have that email. So predominantly, if it was one, I created one. So what I would have gotten immediately after then is, this is my own email that I would have just gotten an email to say, an email to tell me that you've been created. You receive a proper email to tell you that. So at that phase, the email will be sent to you. So that's the journey. Don't forget, we started our journey from going to Blue Sky account. We clicked on sign up. Sign up page is displayed. Put my name, put your name, put this, confirm password. And we click register. Select this and it should work. Because I'm already registered, I don't want to use another email that I have. I'll just ignore. So the same journey I want to put it into this Excel sheet. So let's start as a class. I want to work on sign up. Sign up is a feature I want to work on. So I'm just going to, because I've already designed this initially. So what I've done here is, this is Blue Sky Citadel. Please, can you mute, please? Thank you. So this is Blue Sky Citadel. This is the link. If I click on this link here, it takes me directly to that page. Where I'm coming from. So I put the link. Sorry, I need to sit back. Sorry, please read that. Olumide Ajala, can you please unmute? Can you mute, please? Olumide Ajala. Thank you. So that link brought me back to this page. That's just the only thing I've done differently now. Let's now start. We are using sign up. So you can use your ID. If you want to use your test ID, make your test ID if it's one. Some always like to make it more professional. I can just say sign, just put SIG -01. That's sign up, or you can use sign up, anyone. But if you're using a naming convention, make sure everything tallies. So now, what's our test condition? We want to sign up. Sign up is the feature we want to work on. And this time around is the happy part we want to create. So we want to sign up. In bracket, just put it with valid users. So you're going to sign up with valid user details. That's what we are signing up with. So what's our first step? Let's start it. From where we have started, I'll be navigating in between them now. So the first step was you must get this URL. So you have to go to this place. So let's go back here. Go to the Blue Sky's URL. So when you go there, what's your expectation? Don't forget, what are we doing? We're writing a test script. So we are still we are designing our test case. This is test case now. We have not done the script. So after we finish, our expectation is Blue Sky, Citadel landing page is displayed. That's the first thing we are doing. So which means
how do we get this on our How do we get this on our screen, what you've written down?
How do you get what I've written down?
Yeah, on our screens. Do we just have to write it ourselves?
You have to write it. I'm not going to write it for you. You are going to write it yourself. I'm only displaying this to you. I'm explaining it to you. So you practically can start, you can do yours yourself. So listen, just watch me, listen. If you're also If you can be doing it alongside with me, that would be perfect. But if not, just what I'm doing and see it, because this is exactly what you're going to do as a manual tester. This is your job. So that's why I'm taking it step by step. So I've said go to this page. So from there, you can understand that that's just the URL I've said done. So now the next thing is that we know in this page, there are many activities going on, many features, many functionalities. But exactly where we want to start from now is sign up. So we want to start sign up. So I'll say, click, what I did was click on the sign up button. So the same thing, I'll go to the next line. I'll tell you, click. What is our expectation? Sign up page is displayed. So this is what we're actually saying here now. Sign up page is displayed. So the next thing we want to do is to sign up. In the sign up, there are things happening. Username, enter username. So my username could be anything, it could be a single Yemi, but because we've got several Yemis, we've got a lot of people. So if that name has been taken, you'll be told. But if the name has been taken, the email could be different. So it can still work. So those edge cases too, we need to test. So now I'm meant to enter my username. I'm meant to enter my email, password, and confirm password. So let's do the 4 fields that we have talked about. So the next thing is enter username as, I don't know, let me just put it's because it's just what I'm doing. Test username entered. The next line, enter email as test@gmail.com. Email entered. The next thing we need to do, we enter what? Password. You enter your password as, put a password there, because if you know in the password, it said something to us when I tried to use it. So it must have a capital letter and it must be more than 8 characters. So capital letter, I put it test, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 9. Password entered. Then the next one is enter confirm password as, so you're confirming the password. It has to be the same as the one on top. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Confirm password. Entered. So the next thing we need to do after we've done confirm password, don't forget there's a tick here. So you need to tick to agree to the privacy policy. the privacy policy. The box is ticked. Then the last of it all is we click on register. When you click on the register button, click on the register button, what we are expecting is that Blue Sky homepage is displayed. So practically, what you have done here is that you have written just the journey to sign up on Blue Sky. This is what we have just done. I always just like to make things so clear and precise. That's just me. So I just like to make things clear. That's the way a tester should think. So have that make it 14. I look good. Put a slide blue there. So this looks presentable. So now this is how to write a test case. That's for the sign up feature. And what is this part? Is the happy part. So I've written the happy part. This looks good. We are still designing our test case. After you've done the happy part, you need to do several negative scenarios to ensure that you can break the system. So we can look for one negative scenario to work on. Who can give me an example of just one person, an example of a negative scenario that we can write here? Before you just raise up your hand and I'll call you. If you know an example of what we can write as our negative scenario. You know, I told you about positive, I told you about negative. So if you know, Ade, can you give us one, please?
I just want to try. Yeah. So I was thinking if I input my password without capital letter.
Absolutely. So that's fantastic. So you can mute now. So
okay.
Yes. Thank you so much. So so let's follow Ade's lead. He said if he sign up with invalid password. So let's take another scenario. SIG. Sorry, can you mute, please? 02. That's the next test case. So we want to sign up. This time around, we are signing up with invalid password. So what we are going to do now, let's follow the journey again. Go to Blue Sky Citadel website. Citadel website. I'm taking my time. So I believe so if you're there, the next thing we want to write is click on the sign up button, same format. I'm meant to just get this because I've already prepared this down already. These are everything, I have it down. But I'm just trying to make sure that you don't think that, oh, it's already prepared down. So they know, no. So that's the reason it's just, we have to do it this way, sign up button. So it was our expectation. You can see that I'm working exactly the way the journey is. This is because I am seeing the system. I am seeing the system. I'm exploring the system. I have the system with me. I can see this test environment. That's why I'm writing it directly from it. Most of the time, you won't have this system, and I will tell you how that one works again. So at this phase, we've got the Blue Sky Citadel. What's our expected when we go to the website? So Blue Sky Citadel. Blue Sky Citadel landing page is displayed. So the next thing is I click on the sign up button. Sign up page is displayed. Then the next thing is, after I've done that, I'll enter a valid username as whatever your username is, which is test. So username entered. So do the same thing for the remaining 4. So we've got email. We've got this 4. So we enter Gmail, our email as is. The email is entered. We entered an invalid password. So he said, Ade said we should use lowercase. So I've used lowercase. So you shouldn't accept it. And password entered. Enter confirmed. Enter a valid confirmed password. Confirmed password entered. Tick to agree to the privacy policy, box ticked. Then click register button. Your expectation, what is it? This time around, we won't see the landing page. An error message will be displayed. If you know the error message, you can add it there. What happened? We've also completed another invalid scenario. Again, this is another test. So we started building our test. Let's go further down. Let's take the third scenario, which is someone else to tell me what edge case again do you think we are. Before we go further down, before you give me this, let me go back. Can someone tell me what technique do you think we are using here? What technique do you think we are using here? Olaoluwa A. Hello?
I think it's boundary value analysis technique. Hello.
Okay. Hello.
I said boundary value analysis techniques. Oh, sorry.
So why do you think we are using boundary value analysis? If you know, this same example was one of our technique. Who else can try?
I think it's because of the.
I think it's repetition. I think we're just repeating.
No, I need to know. I want you to understand the
equivalent partitioning.
Fantastic.
Equivalent partitioning.
Fantastic.
Okay.
So what? Yeah. Oh, okay. Good.
You are not testing beyond the boundaries. You're just testing within the boundary.
Absolutely. So that's the reason. That's what we are using here.
Sorry,
so this is one. Yeah.
Sorry, just one quick question before it's going to go off my head. Sorry. You see the URL? If
the URL.
URL. Say for example, you miss out like a not a digit. Sorry, like a what do you call it?
Slash.
Yes.
Slash.
Or if you miss out something, would
yeah, that's good. No, that's a valid scenario. Let's just do it. We take Candace's lead on this. She said we should miss out one. So I'm going to copy from here. So I've removed r.com there. What happens? Of course, it's a valid scenario. Let's go it. This is what we are looking for now. We put there. So something should happen. This is what will happen. So because I've missed it out, it will never go to the link. Hence, you need the right link. Understood now, Candy?
Yeah. It's clear now.
So once you miss out, in fact, if it's a slash or a dot, if you're meant to use a forward slash and use a backward slash, it's going to miss out. It is a part. That's why it's kind of we have to be careful when it comes to we using our endpoint. It's always going to be designed for us. That's a wonderful scenario. You can also validate that. It's part of your scenario. You can validate. You can check, because sometimes you might even do this and it will work. If it works, it shouldn't work. That's the expectation. It shouldn't. So you will tell them the reason why it shouldn't work. So let's go further down. So thank you. At least now we are getting to understand that you can see this is what is coming in place now. In play when we are using all our techniques to design our script. So now let's go further down. Who else? If you know you've talked before, you've asked questions, I want to give others opportunity. Someone else should give me other edge case. After we write this one, then I explain some things, then we import it. Then, because we have 3 types of test cases that we are going to write with this. So let's take the next person. Let me go, just raise up your hand. Okay, Sean Rotiba, you want to give us an example of another. Yes. What do you think we can?
Invalid username.
Fantastic. Well done. Fantastic. Invalid username. So let's follow Sheun's lead now. Sheun said we should go with invalid username. So that goes back. So we are signing up now. Sign up. If you look at me, I'm actually stating what I'm doing here. Invalid password. So that if I give Sheun this script, if I give Kendi or if I give anybody this script, tester A, please, can you pick the script and write it and test it? It's very explicit. You can see, oh, the first one she's talking about is valid details. The second one is invalid. It said invalid password. So my password, it will ring up. My password has to be invalid. So now Sheun suggested that we should sign up with invalid username. So I will go with it. I use same thing, invalid username. So let's just take everything. You're not meant to do this, but because of our time, you are meant to type yourself, no copy paste. It's not time. When you type more, it sticks to the brain. So you won't forget it. Because if I copy this now, I say, oh, I finished this test case, I've gone. You have omitted a lot of things because you are still testing the same thing there. So I don't advise you to do it at all. So at this time, this Sheun said we should use invalid username. So I'll go to username and I'll change it to invalid. I'm using invalid username. So what's my expectation this time around when I pick it? It should also display an error saying, error message would be displayed saying invalid. I'm just believing, yeah, that's invalid user name. So what can be invalid in the username?
Excuse me, there are some corrections that needs to be done there.
Yes, sir.
Enter invalid pass. Oh, yeah. Yeah, all those areas.
Yeah. Valid password, valid confirmed. The only thing we need to do here
is invalid. Okay.
Invalid username. Okay. Because that's what, but every other thing is still valid.
Okay.
It's still valid. So he said invalid username.
A question, please.
Yes, please.
Yes, my question is it's a sign up testing, but yes, when you're testing for invalid username, the username is just being created at sign up. So is it going into the database to pick it up, or I don't understand, because you're just creating this. You've not even created it, or you're just testing, thinking, okay, these are the possible scenarios. So am I testing also for invalid username?
Absolutely.
For sign up.
Yes. Reason is that let's go to the screen. I don't know how the sign up is. 2, 3. Let me use exclamation mark. That's fine. I've put a valid email. So please remove tags and entities from, I think, obsolete entities from the login. So at this point, you can't, it means there is a criteria for username to be used. So you want to test that special characters don't work. There are some special characters that don't work in username. You can use a dash because you could have a compound name, I believe so. But if you use exclamation, you use and, dollar, all this type of sign, it's not a true identity of Yemi. It's not a true identity of a name. So that's the reason for this not working. So all these edge case we need to, because you might think that someone will not write this, someone will not sign up. I can tell you that as a user, when users are, everyone is different. We have different character, we have different thinking. So you have to touch all those edge cases. You must make sure you've covered all this. Okay, for instance, if you did not test this and a user or maybe the client will send this up to them, we are ready to, we finished testing. Maybe the first thing the person thought of is that, okay, let me see this username. They must have missed it out. Or, okay, did they do it correctly? And he puts all this character and this blows up. What will you think? And every other thing works. Maybe all other edge cases that he did. So there's nothing that can happen. So that's the way it works. I hope I've answered the question. So, and don't forget, if anything does not go through, it's not gotten to the, it's not stored, it's not archived, yes, in the database. So it's still here. We have not gotten far. No email has been sent to me. I'm still on the page. Until an email is sent to me, that's when my journey starts at the back end. Understood? Okay. So that goes again to we finish. So we say this purpose. So that's literally another example of your test case design in terms of writing your test cases. Now, I think looking at this script, do you still have any question that you, looking at the test cases, do you have any question that you want to ask? I'm still expecting someone to ask me a question. Okay, we stopped here now. Yes.
I want to ask a question.
What?
Yes. When you said enter username, we are having valid username in the first test case. Now we put test. Now in the second test case, we have enter. No, in the third one, we have enter invalid username. We are still having the same.
Well spotted.
Yes. So
this is yours, and you still. This is what. That's the reason I said you don't. You don't come. You can see, because I've been expecting you to give me where I'm having some mistake, and I'm still expecting some more questions. So if you look at it, what do you think again? After now, is this a full script? Okay, let me ask the question. Is this a full script?
No, it's not a full script.
No. I think there are still a couple of more that need to be answered, like whether it's passed, failed.
Yeah. I agree with you. I agree with it. Whether it's passed.
Well, what about email address?
Can you come back and tell me, explain to me? Sorry, let's do one. Let me go back to the boss so that I can see on. So you said, you said there are some more things like what?
So we've got actual, is that right? Status, passed or failed.
Correct. So your caveat here now is that, is it a full script, yes or no?
No.
No, it hasn't been completed.
Correct. So this is our test case. Yes, talking.
We still have, yes, we still have the acceptance of the terms and conditions.
We still have what?
Accepting the terms and conditions before registering.
Yes, we have that. I know that I'm not going to write the whole test the all edge cases. I only took these 3. In fact, I've gone too far. I only took these 3 because you are going to do your stuff yourself.
Okay.
But what I wanted us to do is, let's have a clearer picture that this is still test case. It's not a script yet. When is a script is when you have completed all forms of actual, now you are seeing the system. But because we are playing with this system, we have our system. So now we have done this script. I will just open another tab. This same script is now we want to execute it. What we have done now is that we have implemented our test cases. Now that takes us further to a process that we've been working on. Who can remember fundamental test process? So in that fundamental test process, we talked about what? Fundamental test process. How many are they?
5.
We talked about the number 3 is what?
Test on implementation and execution.
Test execution.
That is what we are doing now. We have implemented it. This is your test implementation. I told you that I'm not going to use, I have to use those terminologies. But this is what I have implemented. This is what we as a class, we have implemented here. So now, after we have implemented it, don't forget it's 2 words, test implementation and execution. We have implemented, now we want to execute. How do we execute? Now we have blue sky environment. In the blue sky, we can go into, let's navigate to blue sky. So this is blue sky. We have an environment. Okay, we have tested with that edge case. So now let's take real test scenario, happy part, my name, this is fine, but this email already exists. So I'm just going to use a proper email because I want to make sure that it goes. But unfortunately, I'm not going to log in because, of course, I'm live and I can't actually log in front of you. I'll only use the full detail, just something that works. So I'm going to stick to every other thing that is inside there. So now click register. So it says username already exists because I've used this username before. Now I'm going to change it to, when I click register, registration completed successfully. So once I'm registered, an email will also be sent to me. I have the email, but I can't. So when I registered, what did I say? The landing page. This is the home page. This is Blue Sky. Never. This is Blue Sky home page. This is the old course. This is where I can register. It says I, Yemi Ola. So that's the way, the happy part, we've been able to do that. So now it means I entered, let's now start filling the form. I'm making sure that everything works as expected. So I said Blue Sky Citadel landing page is displayed when we enter this URL. What is this thing? Yes. What is your actual result? When we click on this link, let's go back to the link. When we clicked on this link, sign up. Because I'm still logged in the same machine, is detecting that I'm somewhere. So I need to sign out. So it's going to take me off that place. So once this comes out, I'm going to sign out. So I'm just going to log out so that we can have a better view. So this is logging out. So you all can see that it works because I've used different accounts and I've done things. But now let's now go. We want to follow and execute our plan. So the first thing we want to do is when we entered our Blue Sky Citadel, so this is what is showing us. This is their landing page. This is you launching Blue Sky Citadel website. So that's what you have launched. So now we want to now say, launched it. What our expectation? I've used the same URL. Blue Sky Citadel landing page is displayed. So what are we seeing now? Is also displayed. So Blue Sky Citadel landing page is displayed. So what's our status? Is it pass or fail?
Pass.
Correct.
Sorry.
So that passed. So we know that's, let me just make it clearer so that we know that this is what we are doing. It passed. Green. So that's passed. So at this phase, we take the next one. When you click, Candy, can you please unmute, please? I mean, mute yourself, please.
Sorry.
Then click sign up button. So now let's do the next thing. So what we are doing now is we have the actual environment. This is Blue Sky testing environment. It's just an example. This is how your own environment too will look as a tester. The only thing is that when you see URLs like this, they are live URL. If it is a test environment, in the naming convention, there will be tests attached to it. They could say Blue Sky Citadel test.major.com. So we know it's a test environment. Nobody can say it. But once you see prod, know that it's a live environment. Once you don't see anything in it, it is a live environment. If it goes to UAT, users environment, you will see Blue Sky Citadel UAT. So they will put it there so that we can differentiate those environments. It's not mixed up. That's the way it works. So now we've got, after we click on sign up button, our expectation now is that the sign up page should be displayed. So what's happening here now is doing something. We can see the sign up page is being displayed. So sign up page is being displayed. So what do? You can just go there and say, working as expected, working as expected. That's it. Is it pass or fail? Pass or fail?
Pass.
Passed.
Pass.
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 So we have a pass. The next one, enter username as test. So let's go. Test. So what we have done is that, what have we done? Username is entered. I'll just, don't worry, I'll expand all this. Correct, pass. So next one is enter email. I'm not just gonna use this. I just believe it's going to work. Because I know I have an account. That's work. So that's our email name. Let's do the password. Let's take the password as what you have said. The valid password, test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next one, test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then let's just do this once. So we've entered email. So email entered, password entered, confirm password entered. So all is working as expected. So they are all correct. So all pass. So now we've ticked the blocks. Let's tick the box. Yes, we've ticked the box. Ticked. So what happens next?
Pass.
Pass.
Okay, correct. So the last part of it is register. Sorry, the username already exists.
Yeah, because you have done this process once, it won't register anymore.
No, I've not used it in this one. I've used it in several tests. So I'll use test 1, 2. So it won't work. So let's click register. That's it. So that worked to show that test 2 as well. And this is what happened. Blue Sky home page is displayed.
Yes.
Pass or fail.
Pass.
So what happened? All our
Because
tests.
it was displayed.
That's it.
Is it possible to expand the E, cell E?
Yes.
Please. Thank you. Cell E.
So that's, I've expanded E. Let me just take this back a bit. So let's go. So this is our E. And that's, so if the same format goes for you executing this, once I've executed all this script, then this is what we call a test script. Any question at this stage?
Please, I want to ask, even if you use the same email, the same password and everything, but you use the same, like earlier on you said you've used that username before, so you didn't take it. You had to like create a new username.
Okay.
So
yes.
It would not work. So far
Yes.
you're using the same username, you have to use a new username with the email what's it called, password and everything.
Correct. So let's give an example of even aside from Blue Sky, any application that you're using. I've registered with Yemi. Yemi has been taking your Yahoo account, your Gmail account. Once the name has been taken, it will tell you that that name has been taken. So hence, most of us, instead of even 1, 2, I'm even lucky that I have 1, 2 not taken yet. 1, 2 sometimes is always taken. So instead of that, you can use random numbers. You can say, just use random numbers. So it's not taken. No, most of the time, except if it's taken, then you have to do something. So once the name is taken, you can see that the pop-up message is giving you a clue of what is wrong with what you are doing. So that message will let you know that, okay, it's the username. That name has been taken. Let me change the name. It's easier for you to know what is wrong and be able to test it. But those edge cases needs to be tested. So once the name is taken, you can use another name. So practically, this is a script. We have done it. We all designed this ourselves from the beginning. I have not done anything differently. The only thing I've done is that my script is more of an high-level script. When you are going to create your own, you are going to do high-level. You will also research on some other more fields that can be added to this 5 header. I'm not going to tell you some of the fields that can be added, but I expect you to just do intensive, maybe just check it, few things that can be more other fields that can be added to this 5 on top. Now, that takes us to, before I continue, I hope you all understand this spreadsheet. If you don't understand it, you can still ask again. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to take me back. So what I mean is that if we've done this, maybe we've executed the whole of this and everything is working, then this is a full script. We've done our implementation and implementation and execution phase in our fundamental process. So you can see that everything I've just been saying in theory, this is the practical sense. You're using it. This is what you're doing. Now, that takes us to another place. How this same thing can be used on a tool, which is the Azure DevOps.
No, and excuse me.
Okay.
I raise up my hand and
so sorry.
yes.
So sorry. Okay, let's go to where you're sorry. Okay, let me look at it. Let's go one after the other.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you for this kind of training. I think it's becoming more clearer now. So my question is, when you are, in the previous lectures, you told us we need to be taking a screenshot. So at each level, do we need to take? Okay.
No, I want to know, I know where you're going to.
Okay.
So let's stop here first.
Okay.
So your question is that, are you meant to take a screenshot of the test case?
No, not this test case, where it fails, and there's always a feedback below, and when you sign up with valid details, when you sign up with invalid details, there's always a feedback below. So are we meant to take the screenshots of those feedback? When it says your username is invalid,
absolutely.
Yeah. Do we meant to take the photo and the screenshots?
Yes. Okay. Because that's the next place I'm taking you to.
Okay, sorry.
So that's where I'm meant to go and use the tool to show you how to raise it. But if it's that you use a Word document, maybe at your place of work, you do it in a Word document, what you would have done, let me log out of this place. Very simple tool. We've got snipping tool here. Let me close this. No. Just to make things bigger, you can see that there's no snipping tool. Just go to the task bar, snipping, just type snipping tool. It will come out. Snipping tool, everyone has it. We all have it. So if you have snipping tool, so this is your snipping tool. So Opayemi, let's go to what you have said.
Okay.
Next. I know it's going to fail. So at this point, I click register. So it's giving me this. I'm just going to drag it like this. This is a picture that is filled. But because I've got how I like this to be taken, I always like it with this URL. So you can see now, I have taken it. So you can see this is my endpoint. This is where it fails. So it's in the user account. I will copy it from here. go back to this task bar if it's opened and put paint. Paint. Open your paint. Mine is opened. I place it there. Take a tool here. I always like red because it shows it quickly. At the red face, I'll let you know this is the exact endpoint that I'm doing. And I'm also concerned about this. So once I have it, I'll take a proper snapshot of it from this beginning, just here. That's my picture. Copy. When you copy it from there, let's open the tab here. Because mine is in 100%, it will be too full. I'll just place it here. That is it, but let me hold on here. I will tell you where we are going to use it. So that's the next thing. So that's, once it fails, you take a screenshot.
That process, I didn't understand it very well. The way you, the sniping tool.
Okay. So let me close it.
Okay.
No. So I'm going to take out this again. We are going to, sorry. Yep. So I'm going to close the paint too.
Okay.
Don't save. So if you look at my tags bar behind on this place, you can't see anything there. It's just my spreadsheet, my Word document, and this. So at this face, this is how, just go to your search bar by this side. Okay. Look for snipping tool. Type snipping tool because if you don't use it all the time, because I use this all the time, okay. You will definitely see it there. So instead of that, I would do snipping. You can see the way I'm typing it is coming up. I didn't even finish typing it. Then I have it. Then it's open.
Okay.
So once it's open, then that's my snipping tool. I can put it by that side. Just keep it there. It's still there. Also, because you need it again, you go to paint. Start from here, start typing paint. So here, you put the paint there. This is paint. So also put paint down. That is paint icon, you can see. So let's go to where it failed. It failed here. So what I like is that this is your endpoint. This is where it fails. It's easier for the developer to know that, oh, if it failed here, they can reproduce the bug. Despite you have recreated the step, they also will be able to reproduce the bug. Now, people can see picture. That picture that you have taken, it can never be changed. Nobody can change it because it is a picture. As long as you have taken it, you've already done justice to it. So nobody can say you didn't test properly. So that same snipping tool, I've opened the snipping tool. It's a drag and drop. You can't use it. You can see my screen is grayed out. Once I move away from here, you can see the cross sign. That cross sign, I will hold my mouse down and I will drag it.
Okay.
So you drag it. So you just need to learn it. It's very easy. So just drag it. You see, I dragged it. If I want to take it back, I can take it back. I'll drag it. I can move it around. So this is how it works. So once I take the snipping tool, I'm taking it. If you look, there are features here. If you look at it, file, you can save it. You can send it via email. You can do different things. But if you want to, you can copy from here. But there's already a shortcut here. If you look, if I hover over this, it says copy. Yeah. When I click on copy, that's it. I've already copied it. Once I click on it, it's copied. Okay. This is pen paint. If you don't want to do things to be neat, you can just use pen. You can highlight it. As I've copied it now, I will open my paint. This is my paint. I put it here. In the paint, this paint, this is the shape you can use to, you can take any shape, but it depends on what you want to do. So for me, I always like this. If you want to link something together, you can use this arrow. You can use down arrow, but this is the one you use if you want to highlight for them to see. This is black. You can use any color. I like red for them to know that you have is something that I want you to see clearly. You can't tell me that you can't see it. So this is it. You put it and you pick it up this way. The same way I have done the snipping tool again, pick it up again and take the snipping tool and drag it back and do the same thing here. Take it out. So that's the picture. Same likewise, copy. Copy. When you copy it, you come, if it's in your spreadsheet, like because we have here, you can put it and you can name this one as maybe your test evidence.
Okay.
That's your test evidence to know that yes, you have tested signing and it's failed. So that's the way you know. But let's not take it. That's it. Let me take other questions before we continue. So in quick one, I think Bola Alade.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you very much. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. I just want the remember me button and the forgot password. Are these scenarios as well that can be considered for testing?
Absolutely, they are testing candidates. You can, because if that link is part of the feature, you have to test it. This remember password. Yes, they can any look on this website page. Any link you find there once is part of the requirement document is a test candidate.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, please. Deniron, please.
Thank you very much. Actually, I think you answered a bit of the question I was going to ask, but let me ask again anyway, nevertheless. What I was going to ask is that between the between the spreadsheet and the Blue Sky website, how did you create that link? How did you bring the Blue Sky website onto the Excel where you were able to
okay.
start your testing?
I'm just going to Blue Sky.
Thank you.
I just need to log out. Let me log out. Let's know that nothing is here. Out. So when you wanted to register as a member, you go back to this is a fresh page. Nothing is here. So I'll just type Blue Sky. This is it. blueskyprepmajor.com. It will bring it up. But my understanding of what you have asked, I've told you you'll be given a test environment. So they will give you the link. They will give you the endpoint. This is a live environment. Hence, I'm using it to test for us to have a clearer view. So that's it. So that's the way I said you can go online to, but your own, as long as you're part of the team, you'll be given a test environment to work on. That's the main. This one is just a live environment. You'll be given a URL, your test environment. So Abdul Gafar.
Okay, thank you. Please, what will inform us of how many negative scenarios we are supposed to test?
Test every edge cases that you need. You can test any possibility.
As much as you can remember, is it?
Your laptop is all about.
Hello?
Yes.
I said as much as you can remember.
Yes, as well. That's why you get tested. So there are a lot of edge cases that you can test in terms of negative scenario. But by and large, if you test quite reasonable part of it, there's every possibility that you must have covered a lot. Hi, ma'am. Your laptop is about to go out of battery. Okay, thank you so much. I'll charge it now. Thank you. So yeah, so that's it, Abdul Gafar. Does that answer your question, please?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, please. iPhone. The person using iPhone. I don't know your name. but you didn't put your name, iPhone. In the absence of iPhone, I think I've answered Olaoluwa A.
Okay. I think Bola Alade and before I've actually answered my question. So all the links on the front page, we are going to test everything. So after that, so we are going to write the test plan the way you listed it, and even more than the way, even more than the one we remember, and and that's the way you're going to write it, everything.
No, that's why I said there are some edge case that you have to test everything. That's the way if you, by the time your negative scenario, it can be up to, it can be quite a lot. And that's where we've got in the code, developers code, that's where we've got error handling. If it's not done properly, it could just be the $sign that will break the code. I can tell that I've seen it severally. It could just be the $sign that you put in the name, because if it's not catered for, if it's not well handled for in the code, hence you are going to get those scenarios. Now, if you think, as I said, if you think that someone won't put $sign, if I mistakenly, like I can't see properly, and I mistakenly put a $sign, it's going to crash the system. So that's it. That's the way it is.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
So you have to just touch those edge cases along. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for now. Let me just. I need to transfer some things to Azure DevOps so that we can go as quickly as possible. So let's go back. Let's go to this place. I'm going to. Let me navigate back. Let me see whether I can. Let me go to this place. Can you see my board now? Can you see clearly, everyone?
Yes.
Someone should answer me.
Yes, I can see it.
Yes, you.
So on the board here, what we have, that's the way you are going to be added to a team group by your Scrum Master. So they are going to add you to your team. Then you have a edge to say that let's one of these. Sorry,
I think the network from your side is.
You can't hear you. It was breaking.
Can you hear me now clearly? Hello. Hope you can hear me now.
Yes, we can hear you.
It's clear now.
So let me take a team. I'll just take one of this is maybe, let me say, project group. This is their project group. I'm not going to use this name. I'll say intern software testing group. This is your own group. This board will be created by your Scrum Master. You all will be added to the board. Is their own part to clear that. It's not for you to work on. That's their own part. So this is the Azure board. This is what you are going to work. Once it's been created, there's a project mandate. This is your expectation. This is part of the objective of what you are meant to do as a team. This is what you're meant to achieve. So now, we as testers, what do we want to do? We will go to this board. You can see when I clicked on that, it brought me to this team, to the summary page. This is the summary page. So now I want to go to the board. When you come board, it will expand. So in the board, there are various components there. But here, what exactly I want in the board is I will take a board work item. So in this work item, if you look at this feature here, new work item, open query, where exactly you want to go to as a tester is this. You see, when I clicked it, it's a drop down. It shows me, do I want to create a bug? Is it an epic, which is used by the business analyst or the product owner to put exactly an epic of whatever story we have to put it in the backlog? This is future. It's also any impediment, product backlog item, as the PI, the task you're going to work on, then test cases. So listen now, you've got the bug, you've got your tags, you've got your test cases. How do you start? We want to design this test case we have written in Excel to put it here. So let's just click on test case. So the test case is opened up to you. So this is what you can see. You can see this is your test case. First thing is that this field, it cannot be empty. You can see the red there. The red will never go until you put something in the field. If I put 1, it will close. It can't be empty. And we are not expecting you to put 1. You must give me a title. So now, let's go back to our spreadsheet. My class for today, I've created a sign-up scenario. So this is what you have created. So this is your test condition that you have created. I'll copy it, I'll put it as my title. So everyone knows that that is the title. This is created. You can see, because I've been added, I'm part of the team. So definitely I would have this thing access to it. So I've put sign up for valid user after I sign up. So these are my steps and my expected results. So everything I have written here, I just need to transfer it to that place. If you don't want to write it on a spreadsheet, just write it directly into this tool. You can do it directly. So directly, but because I just to import it because I've done it already, I just have to do most of the time, write it directly. Please, please, when you are writing, don't give me new test case title only and you didn't put step. If once I find it, it's not going to be nice. If I find that test case, you are going to give me 20 of it, 20 edge case. I don't want to know, maybe you have time out. So please don't write any test case without putting your test steps for us. Others are looking at it. So the same thing goes, just copy it, and because of our time, because I've still got other things I need to go through. So once I finish, I'll save it. Once I save it, if you look at it, it has created a number for me. So I've got this number. Now, if you look at it, it says it's in design state. Is until you save it, that's when this thing, design, and which is design, I have not started executing, I've not run it. So if I've looked at it, maybe I've tested it, I've looked at all the edge cases, it's working as expected, then fantastic. I can put it as ready. When it's ready, we are on the reason it tests it complete. Once you finish and the test case is done, you put it in the closed state. Absolutely. That is the state at which is, and once you are putting it in the state, make sure, like I put ready, make sure it's saved. If it's not saved, it won't be done. That's how to use this to create test case. As I said, you can create it yourself. Test, move here. So move back. Put my test. I'm just, because I'm just trying to let you know that you can write it directly without doing it in spreadsheet, and you save it. So once you save it, save there. Nothing can take it out. But yeah, that's the way it works. So that's the way we take that. But instead of that, I'm not going to do that yet. Let me make you people have so I'm just going to say sign up. And I would valid details. So save it. Let's close it. So let's navigate back to our work item. If you look at it, this is the one I've created. 346 is been assigned to me, it's been created, and this is it. So you can add tags to it, you can add types to it. So that's to create a test case. You can see we have created it there. The only thing you need to do here is just to copy this script, import it. It's not copy, you are importing it into Azure DevOps. That's if you want to do it in two sides. Now let's take it. I think was it someone that asked about the bug raising now. So let's go to it. We want to raise a defect. How do we raise
Excuse me. Sorry, does it mean cannot have more than two headings? Action and the expected results.
Sorry, let me go back.
I mean, does it mean cannot have more than two headings? The actions and the expected results. I mean, there's Azure.
Azure.
Okay,
So what do you,
Azure.
what do you, yes, no, don't worry, don't worry. You learn how to. So what did you say? Two headings like how?
Like the action and the expected results. Those are the ones we have here.
Yes. So if you now want to execute it, when you execute it manually, because this is manual phase. So if you've got anything that you want to attach, you want to do, when you execute it, when you finish your execution, that's when you change those. So your expected is will be here. Your actual will be at the end of it. You will add your comment here.
Okay.
So your actual result will be, okay, what I always say is, after you have logged in, just take a snapshot and add it there. Login successful. That ends it. If you put this, let me copy this. Put it here. Save. If you go further down, that's it. So it's there. But you cannot just write, maybe when you pinned it there, tested in. Just see below screenshot. I've added it, maybe just put your screenshot there, and that's it. Everybody can read it, so they know it's working as expected, and that's the irony of it. So
okay,
let's quickly go to bugs. And then
please, just before you move on. Okay, in the spreadsheet, there are I mean, maybe some different scenarios there. The valid and invalid. You just written one for the valid now. Are we indeed are you going to create for each maybe each scenario?
Absolutely.
Each
Yes.
one for
yes.
One for pass and
Yes.
for the failed.
Yes.
Number one question.
So
Number
what
two. Okay. Number two. Is it possible to import? Is there? I mean, if you want to import everything the way
everything
from the
no.
Excel sheet, can we import it directly without even copy and paste? I mean, import everything directly to this tool, to this platform.
To be honest, with Azure DevOps, it's kind of I don't know. I don't think the functionality is there to import directly. It might be now, but I've not seen it.
I'll say, yeah, I'll say that there are some plugins that allow you to do that. So, but not directly with Azure DevOps. Or as well, that you can also import your what's it called, work items, into Azure DevOps actually. So, but it's not going to be as you've done it like that actually. So there's other way. So you have to align with what you need to import. If you know how import works, you have to align your document to what that particular application is looking for. Otherwise, you won't be able to import it. Do you get? So the best way is to first export one, then you change it.
Yep.
Import. Yeah.
Okay. So
thank you.
So will it be that the best thing is to do it directly here and on the AzureDevOps instead of going through that stress? Number two, so just for clarification, so we have to do the each scenario one after the other, and put the screenshot, and then create another one from. Is that how it works?
Yes, that's the way it works. These people, they are different entities, they are different features, different conditions. You can't put them together. So that's the way it works. It's separate. So if you have 100 test cases, fantastic, you have to work on it like that.
Okay.
If you have 200, that's the way it works. So there are times, the test implementation phase is a way. It's not, they don't expect everything to be done in one day. You'll be implementing it, you'll be doing it, preparing down. So all these things have to be implemented each one at a time. Don't forget, I said it can be ambiguous. It must be easy for people to read and execute. You can't do one or two more actions in one thing. If, for instance, now I've said sign in with a valid user, and I'm also saying sign with invalid user, why am I complicating the issue of putting them together? So those are the reasons that do all your scenarios separately. Make it clearer so that when people pick up your script, it's easier to run and execute when you are not available. So that takes us back to, let's leave here. So that takes us back to how to read the bug.
Sorry.
So the bug.
Hello? Sorry, just one more, just to ask this. When you were putting the result in, I noticed that you did not tag. Are you not supposed to tag maybe the product owner or your colleagues when you complete a particular task story or something?
So the tag depends on what type of the tags that you want to add. You can add, let me open this one that we have done. You can add tag for, if it's UAT, if it's test environment, if you tag it to yourself, you can add any form of tag. So you can add any tag to it. So it depends on how you want to find it. Do you want to find it by name? Do you want to find it by name? You can add it. Do you want to find it by whosoever is working there? You can add it. So once you add the tag, it's easier for you to be able to find it because you can search via the tag. You can do any other one. But majorly, I always prefer the iterations. So for instance, like for test cases, don't put iteration, except you have a test case build. Don't put iteration. Don't say you have done in sprint 1. So just put your iteration, because this is sprint 1. You can put iteration, you can change it to sprint 2, you can change it to sprint 3. So this our iteration, this is our part. This is where you can look into. So, but majorly, design your script and make. So if you have done this test script in sprint 1, assign it to it and let it be in sprint 1. If it's in sprint 2, as you are doing your tasks, assign it to each of the iteration parts.
so sorry, maybe I should be clearer a bit. When I'm talking about the tag, not the actual tag up there, I'm referring to like, when you use the @ sign, in the discussion area, you use the @ sign to mention your colleague or mention somebody to say, I've completed this task.
No, it's not okay. Like here, it depends. It depends. If for instance, like this is a test case that is being, it depends on the process. If it is a test case that you need to mention your colleague there, fine. You have to, if you add a tag to it, if you use an @ sign and you add a to inform the colleague, it will send it to the colleague's email that Yemi added you into this thing. So it will prompt the person to check the story or the test cases if needed. But if not, you have done it, you have sent, you have added your screenshot, you have executed it, everything is happy scenario. What you are doing is just a backup to know that in case they come back, oh, Yemi, you said you tested the sign up. Did you test valid scenario? Yes, I did. Go to ticket 340. And they will go inside there, they will see it. So nobody owes you to say it. But most of the time also, I always employ to, you add a link. Maybe if you've got a user story, there's a user story to it. Link it, add existing link. It will prompt you. You will find the user story. Maybe it's a work item. Just look for it. It's a test case. If it's a user story, look for it. Look for the iteration part. I'm just adding it to it. So it will link up to test, in as much as I don't want to, but it will link onto this test. So once it links up to this test, if you go to this test, you will see that that is the test. It will be the user story that you have developed. You will see that story. So that's the way we link it. Just link it so that it's for visibility and also for reporting sake. I talked about traceability matrix. This is a process of tracing back your script to each of the user story. So if test was my user story, I have mapped it to the test. So when people go to the user story test, if I click on user story test and I assign all these my test cases to the team, when they go to user story test, they'll look at, oh, Yemi has written valid scenario, invalid scenario. So we can trace from there. That's the other edge case that we can work on. So the last of it today, before I show you the test plan, is how to raise a bug. Let me quickly dwell to raise a bug. Same format of the test case, but at this very time, I'll take a bug. So our bug is there. It says step to reproduce the bug. What's the bug title? Unable to sign up. Oh, unable
Hello?
to sign up?
Hello?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
So, are we testing user stories? Because at some point you mentioned that you will show us a testing.
Yes, we are testing. This is agile environment. So we are testing user story. So I'll give you an example of a user story.
Okay.
So I'll give you an example of a user story.
So it's not
Once I raise this
when the developer builds, we test if there is a bug or anything.
So user story is what the developer is going to build.
Okay.
So this is a story. They said user is able to sign in.
Okay.
That is good. So as a user, in order for me to sign, in order for me to access Blue Sky, I want to be able to sign in. That is a user story.
Yeah.
Now there's exception acceptance criteria there. It will use the features that they want to. It must have a username. It must have an email. The username must contain several characters. So it's going to tell you each of these edge cases to be done. It must have this. So it's going to be stated in the acceptance criteria. Once it's stated there, then we as testers, we pick the story. We start designing our script against the story. That's the way it is. So sign up is the story. So that's it. So now we bug. So in this bug, I said unable to sign up. So maybe I've said log into Blue Sky Citadel, log in to Blue Sky. When you log into Blue Sky, then you launch click the sign up button. Okay, then error displayed. So once I do it, inside this box, just add your screenshot there. Once you add your screenshot, we talked about severity priority. If you can't sign up, it's an I1. So it means people can't use the sign up. What's the severity? It really affects it. It's a critical one. You can see, so that's where it comes. So what we are doing here is that we are using part of our STLC, defect management. These are what it comes to play. So now I save it. Once I save it, it brings up a bug number for me. You can see everything is it 341. So this is the bug. So I've attached it, put the screen. So now at this bug, we need to do a triage session. What is the triage session? Who is it going to be? Is it being approved? Yes, let's make it active. Developer A, this is what I'm facing. I've put the screenshot there. That's it. Okay, we want to make it active. It's active. So it's moved to active state. So once you save it, it's going to be moved. If you have the name of the developer that you want to assign it to, the developer's name is Yemi. I assign it to Yemi, the developer, and that is it. And that spells it out to say you have created a bug. If you go to your work item list, you'll see your bug being created. So you can see just within that, that's the bug that you have created. It links up to it. So someone can pick it up. The triage session will be done. It's not you that is going to. So you let them, once one picks it, you should put it in active state. Don't forget there are other states. When you retest this bug, then you know it's done. You put it in done. It's moved to another state. Once it's done, once it's completed, or it's done, happy with it, then we close it. That's the way it is. Then you save it. Always make sure you save the state. If not, it won't run. So it's closed.
Excuse me. Excuse me, I can see you saving it on every step. Is that the way to do it? Do we need to save on every step?
No. I'm not saving. I'm not saving on every step. I've written all this. The reason why I saved it is when you make a change, the save button is triggered. If I don't save it, it's going to be in the close. So let's go back. You know, previously it was closed. I'm not going to save it. I'm going to ignore it. So let's go back. Leave. So let's leave it. Let's open. You know, I changed it to new state, but unfortunately I didn't save it. Yes. So I'll look for my bug. Do it. 3, 4, 6, 1. Enter. You can see the state is still closed because I didn't save it.
Okay.
If I want to save it now, I hit again, move it to new. Once I do it, save and close.
Close. Okay.
So recheck it again. Recheck it again. Is a new state. So I'm not saving at every, but as long as you make a change, until you finish, look, you can leave this page open like this and be doing your stuff, be putting all the, do it maybe in the next 30 minutes you've gathered it. You don't need to save. Once you finish, if you still want to maintain it, you want to
you better go and
save
you're
it,
going to put
you can
more.
update. Sorry, please, can you mute yourself? So that's it. So before we close the class, I need to show you another piece of work, which is on this one. I'm not sharing, I'm just going to show you how it looks. So by large, we are talking about strategy. I'm going to show you an automation strategy, and I'll show you a test plan. So this is just one quick one of an automation test strategy. If you look at it, I just did automation test strategy, just put something draft. This is a clear one for automation. Test automation, the strategy, the importances. I just did my table of content. Also, I did my introduction there, put blue sky, and this is just the way it works in terms of automation test strategy. This is the importance of it. This is definition of my regression pack. And last of it, this is how I'm going to do my iteration when it comes to the integration phase. And I'll also say some tools that I'm going to use. That's my test tools. I added them here. And predominantly, my dependence and assumption risk. That's a simple automation test strategy. Now, I'll take you to a more complex test plan. So this is a big test plan of 20 pages. So it's a blue sky test plan, it's a website. Yesterday, I was talking about distribution list. I just put some name here. So by and large, these are the distribution list. So you see the distribution control, distribution list. You can see revision, abbreviation. So now this is my table of content. You can see introduction. This is more of a detailed one. So these are all the test approach I'm going to do. In my test plan, functional testing, unit testing, each of these phases are drivers from me because this is what I'm going to execute at that phase. These are high level. I've got my dependencies, I've got my defect management, I've got the sign up approval, and I've got all those other steps. So these are tests. So this is just introduction. This is more of the architecture. This was gone for the design. And this is another phase of how this application is going to work. I took an application where it is. This is my test environment. This is some types of testing I'm going to do. Performance and load testing is needed in the project that I actually designed this for. This is in scope. I tell you what I'm putting in scope. These are my user stories. These are the location of the user stories. So I just put it, if it's on SharePoint, I add it. If it's on DevOps, you have the location there. Just key things that you need to have in place when it comes to it. The next one is my test approach. What is my test approach? My functional testing. I did my functional testing. In under there, I did my exit and entry criteria. I love to see it. How am I going to start? How am I going to end it? These are it. What is the benefit of it? I just put it in 4 points just to know. I take a bug regression test. So I also stated there what I'm going to do, my entry and exit criteria. Likewise, I did the same thing for each of the test phases that I'm going to achieve in it. Look at, I did quite a lot. Someone asked about smoke testing yesterday. That is my smoke testing. Just to tell you, it will be done immediately the system is ready to test. So that's what I just put there. I need to know system testing. These are the phases that I'm going to do when it comes to it. Likewise, as some tools that I'm going to use because automation is going to be in place. I put some tools there. Look at test preparation, high-level test cases. I will be scripting. My test script is what we have just done today. Today, we have talked about the priority. This is a guideline, high, medium, low. I explained it there just to give everybody a clear. I'm sending this to the white team. So now this is my schedule. This is how we are going to test. I just did it on an Excel sheet just to show that this is at every phase that I'm going to carry my testing phases to. And at the long run, this is my milestone. What am I going to start first with? Test creation. I'm going to do, after I do my test plan creation, I'll do my test script creation. I'll do my test data creation, system testing, user, and when the code merge is down, regression testing is more pilot. And I've got my dependency and test deliverables. What are these? You can see I'm going to put, these are the things, my test deliverables. What am I going to deliver? I'm going to give them a plan. I'm going to give them a script. I'm going to execute it. I'm going to give them a report. I'm going to give them defect report. These are my own deliverables. Test exit reports. That's my test closure. I put a section for defect management and also a section for sign up. Who are the approvals? So hence all this. And last of it is the architecture. So that's a more complex test plan. And for tonight, let me go to that ends our class for tonight.
Please, will you send this document to us, please?
No, no, no. You are going to, if I send it to you.
The last one.
No. You can create it yourself. I only show you for you to see. I'm going to answer your questions in a bit. I'll only show you so that you can see the document. But Balak, I want to say a wonderful thank you to every one of you. Wonderful intern. You've been so wonderful in the class. And I welcome you to the software testing world. You're all now part of my colleagues. I'll have you all on board. And we'll both see ourselves when doing the intern in proper and everything is done. So now you're all welcome to the world of manual testing. Welcome everybody. So I'll take your question. If you've got questions in the next 5 minutes, we end the class. I've still got other colleagues that will come and give you some lectures too this week. And I'll also employ them to do something small on AzureDevOps. So that's me for tonight. Questions, please?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yes, I really appreciate all your lectures and everything that you've done. You've been really wonderful. I just want to, in addition to what the last person said, obviously you can't send test plan documents. But what about the automation test strategy document, which is like a template? Because I noticed that's a template. Is it possible to have the template for automation, or because you've not, or is it?
You know what?
Oh, Yemi, can I take it? Sorry. Is that okay, Yemi?
Yes, please. You can
go
on, sir.
Yeah. So one thing, to be honest, Yemi could send it, but I don't think he would do you good by getting that template. To be honest, if you Google it, you will see actually a lot of them. So one thing that is also important is for you to know where to go to get those information that you're going to get, because there will be time that you will leave this platform. You will need to get those things by yourself. So at one point or the other, we will be letting you know how to get those things, right? So what you need is just a template. Just put it on internet and say test plan template. It will come out, and then you start to do it. So by that, you know anytime that you know where to go to get it now. And if you look and you don't find anyone, right, you can send into the Keyway Guild. Your Keyway Guild manager would look into that, and you will be able to point you into the right direction. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Mr. Deji. Yeah. Next person, please. Just a minute. I think Anslim. No, who is that?
Yes. Please, can you go back to AzureDevOps, please? Also, on the test case, please.
Okay. Let's go back.
Okay, I think, Yemi, 1 minute. So I'm not sure that you're giving them the task for the next week to create a test plan and also the test strategy as well, so that they can come in next week and you can review that. So because that's another thing. Now, to be honest, that's the reason that you won't even send it, the script as well. So it's
Absolutely.
like setting the questions and giving the answers.
Correct. So that would have been, that's my own assignment, but I'm waiting till the end of there are certain things they are going to do at the end of the class. So I'll give them an assignment. So that will be the first thing, because not to forget our first sprint, this is test plan, test strategy has to be designed. Then we'll start moving on to test case prep and all this. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. So you said I should go to the test case.
Okay. Yeah. I have a question. If you make a mistake, like when you tapping when you put your step your action down and you save and do everything. My question was like, if you save it, how can you come back, modify and then save it again? Or are you going to change the sign up numbers, or are you going to leave it like that?
So that's fine. You said I've made a mistake, so I wrote test. I've removed line 3.
Okay.
I've removed it. Line 2. I've deleted everything. So take it out. Take it out. We've deleted it. Let's do 2 again. Delete. Don't forget, save.
Okay.
Back to work item. That's a valid scenario. Open it. It takes time to load. It's even quick. It's quite quick. But so it's still booting. So once it comes up. So once you make a mistake, you can go there to change it. You can go there to amend whatever you have done. I will tell you, it's taking. So once you amend it, I'll show. Once you see that, we'll look at it. But I can look at in the history. I'll see what some things you have done, what you have changed, who has touched your ticket. You can check the history and be able to see. It's taking forever now. Sorry. So while it's loading, is that the question you have?
Yes, please.
Okay, why is loading? Let's Rexford, please, your question, please.
Yeah, hi, Ayala. Deliver you on point as always. So with the test case, I just want to ask, can you put it in different ways? For instance, validate a user can sign up on Blue Sky Citadel. Can you put it in different ways?
You can use any title. Don't use my title. I only simplify that title to make it. You can use validate that user can log in. Ensure that user can log in. Use words that people can understand. That's it. Not too long, precise. Use the keywords. You can use any title.
Thank you.
No, yeah, that's fine. So that's it now. You can see it's been saved. So it's ready, and that's it. You can save it, you can delete it, you can remove it. It's done. It still works as expected. So Deniron, let me see. Please. Deniron, your question, please.
Thank you very much, Yemi. This is very, very encouraging. I must confess, you have really encouraged us so much, and thanks for this initiative. So I just want to raise a suggestion, please. If for people like us who are just a bit behind, I mean, I'm not sure about other people's level But if you could try as much as possible to upload this thing on anything we have learned or we have gone through, upload them as soon as possible, so that the earlier we can do that, I mean, go through it. For some of us who are willing to go through it over and over before we go to the next class, please, I think it would be much appreciated, please.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think most of these videos are already on YouTube. They are also part of the platform. So it should have been collated at every class. You should have them available already, which I'm certain about it. So again, I'll still inform them again to help you check all the videos and make sure they're up to date so you all can have it. That's it. So the next person, Akinola, please. Akinola, while we wait for Akinola. Okay.
Yeah, my question is this DevOps serving the same purpose as Jira?
So good question. So which Jira is also a defect managing tool, is for use for once you understand one of these two, you'll be able to use several tools. So in the advantage you have in this intern is that you are going to use Azure DevOps. You're also going to be introduced to Jira. Jira is also a tool like this Azure DevOps. But the thing there is that the way the design is different for each of these tools. They are all still the same thing. It's just like I have several websites doing it's still the same login, same registration. That's the same thing, all this. But the latest tool that people are using now is because it's Azure DevOps. That's the latest thing we use and ends this. But you're still using Jira in this intern. You will be showed how to use Jira. Trello is just also defect management, TFS. There are a lot of them outside them. Once you know one, I'm telling you predominantly you can go with others. So I hope that answers you, Akinola. That's fine.
Thank you.
iPhone, please. You're welcome. iPhone, who is iPhone? Can you ask your question? While we wait for iPhone, Olati, can you ask your question, please?
Yeah, thank you very much for the delivery. As normal, thank you very much. Appreciate. I was trying. It's about the Azure Devil. I was trying to copy from Excel and paste the steps, but it's not. It's not pasting on the Azure Devil. I don't know why.
Okay, let's go. It's not pasting on the Azure DevOps. So let's go back again. This is it. Let me go back here. So you said you are trying. So let's go here. You can see where my own cursor is. If it's not within the box, you have not copied it. So copy, highlight like this. It's highlighted. Maybe I'll do this. Copy. Yeah. Because I just do the short for to see. Go to this step. Let's delete. Let's delete this. Let's delete this. So this is the first one. So now we are here. This is how it is. Click on that. Control V. That's it. Let me make another one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's the way it is. You have to Control C for copy, Control for paste. Then you do what? You save it. As long as you finish your test case, you save it. So that's what it is. That's the way you copy it from it. So iPhone. So in the absence of we not having any other question, let's take
Yes, hello.
Hello, yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, my question is, you tested for only front end. Are we going to learn how to test for the back end too?
Of course, it's going to be more validation. That's API testing. So you'll be looking, you could look back end to test in terms of verifying the data to see it come true. Yes, you would be thought that here too in the intern. So we do both front end and back end testing.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So now this is your assignment as a team. The first one we are going to take, you've all been assigned to your various groups. So what you are going to do is that for us to start, because I told you the start of a project, we need to design our test plan and test strategy. So you're first, as a team, you are going to come together, you are going to design test strategy. Now my question, the thing here is, don't say it's going to be done by one person, no. When your team is called to pitch on your test plan, the person that wrote the paragraph of the scope is going to talk about it. The person that wrote the paragraph of the overview is going to talk about it. So every one of you must partake in it, the roles and responsibility. So it's not a format to tell me that this person, no. If you have 4 QAs there, you almost divide it evenly to work on each of them. That's it. So you design a test plan for your own project and a test strategy for your project team. Lot of templates online. Likewise, an automation test strategy. These 3 documents, you are going to demo these 3 documents. That's what you do in your first sprint. As you are doing that, once you do that, and when you're done with that, you will now start creating your manual test script. Look, in this intern, if you are going to automate a script, you are going to write the manual test first, then you automate it. If you don't write it, if you give me a placeholder in your test cases, you are going to rewrite that test case 20 times. I keep emphasizing, it's not going to be, I will make sure that you write that test case 20 times. So make sure that you must write steps to follow it. There's a class on Thursday, and I'm going to speak to the person, my colleague that is going to take that class, to please give you another version of how to write a test case using my then scenario. So I would have loved to show this scenario because it's given when then you could use it for your automation and also use it for manual testing. But we're out of time, but he's going to show you on Thursday, which we are going to work on it. So you've got 2 assignments, 3 documents that you're going to create: test plan, test strategy, test, automation test. So those 3 has to be, then you design your own test cases. I'll say a very big thank you for all of you for attending this. As I've said,
on Thursday there's no class.
Huh?
No class on
Well,
Thursday.
you'll be told. You'll be told if there is a class. You'll be told, please.
Okay.
So when there is a class, you'll be told. So just keep me on your. Just look at, be on Telegram and look at your class. Please make sure that all these videos you're watching them and keeping it up to date. So that's me. So welcome you all to manual testing. Once you do it properly, your job is out there and I'm looking for you. They have placed the video of the YouTube for today's class. Is on YouTube. The link is on the chat now. You can copy it, everyone. It's been placed there right away. The video is live now, so you can watch it. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Yesterday one is
I will
not there
see
yet.
in the demo.
Hello. The yesterday lecture is not there yet.
Okay, it will be sent to you.
Yeah. It's not there.
Sorry, no. Every of these videos are there, right? But they are not visible actually. So they are unlisted because it's not public. It's only for you guys in the internship actually. So you need to go to the main group, right? And pick the video from there. The admin always send the video after that. I think yesterday one should have been sent out anyway. Yeah.
No, it's not there. It's not there.
What do you mean? Where?
It's still not there. The groups are. I checked for it.
Sir, we have not had the videos for the past 2 lectures. I
No,
raised
the
it in the group.
videos. Only that
everything in
of
the group,
23rd.
and the admin said it was still collating them.
Okay. You will get it in half an hour anyway.
All right. Thank
All right. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But sorry, just to be clear, we have a video sent, some links sent. Only the one for yesterday is not added yet. But every video from the beginning till the end is in the QA group, please.
Thanks so much for that clarity. So yeah, you will get the yesterday one, right? And also today's one. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Yeah. Cheers, everyone.
Thank you.